My name is Pipo Reiser, and I'm co-founder and CEO of Sinba. Before I go into the presentation, I just want to say I'm very proud and honored to be part of this group. Very moved by a lot of the presentations, so congratulations to everybody already. Sinba is called that not because we think we're the Lion King. We love the Lion King. But it's short for sin basura. Sin basura means without trash or without waste in Spanish. Our purpose, we're a social environmental enterprise founded in Peru in 2016. We're also a certified B Corp. And our purpose is to co-create a world sin basura where nothing is left over and nobody is left out. And we do this by replicating the cycles of nature using technology to promote a circular economy. And this all started with three friends asking ourselves the question, what happens to our trash? Well, someone comes and takes it away. But where is the way? And we did not know how to answer this question, so we went and looked for the answer. And what we found, and these are real pictures, is basically a landscape of landfills that are poorly kept in Peru, and this is the same for this problem I'm going to describe is very similar in a lot of the developing world. We found a lot of open-air dumpsters, more than 900 in the city of Lima, where we're from, the city of 10 million. 900 open-air dumpsters where trash is usually burned, and that it creates carcinogens that go up into the air, and that is the air we all breathe. But then we ended up looking a little further, digging a little deeper, and we ended up in places like the one you see up top. What you see here, and it's very hard to recognize, is a lot of small farms where people are feeding animals using organic and food waste to create meat that is then sold. Regretfully, this meat is not fit for human consumption. It doesn't comply with any quality standards. But hey, it's Peru. A lot of the economy is informal, and so this was just one more of those industries. And by visiting these places, we got to meet Mr. Chavez. Now, Mr. Chavez has been a recycler / small farmer for over 40 years. And in those 40 years, he was not able to leave poverty, and he remained in the informal sector for all of his life. By the way, he's 72 years old, and he gets up at 4 in the morning to work every day. And so, if we take a step back, Latin America produces 240 million tons of waste per year. That is 30 million trucks. If we put those in a line, we could circle the globe almost 8 times, just to give you an idea, per year. And out of that, more than 50% is organic waste, all of which can be recovered. 26% is recyclable waste, and only 22% is non-recyclable. So we could recover around 80%, but in Peru, we're only recovering 2%. And that is very, very low, even on Latin American standards. Now, what we do and how we're tackling this problem is by the Sinba cycle. So we work with companies and homes who sign up to our subscription-based service. We teach them, we put in the bins, we teach them how to segregate. So segregation is not common in Peru. We still have to put a lot of effort into that. We then pick up the organic and recyclable waste through our logistics team, and we take it to the Sinba node. The Sinba node is where the magic happens and where waste is turned into resource. We have 2 plants. One is called the Biofactory. At the Biofactory, we're the first company in Latin America to produce dry animal feed using organic waste as an input. We also produce organic fertilizer from what we cannot turn into animal feed. And we have the CIRC, which is the Inclusive Circular Recycling Center, where we take all the inorganic recyclables, process them into materials that industry can use to produce new products. And so we work with local industries and farmers to cycle these materials back into the economy. Our business model is basically, right now, based mostly on the monthly subscription fee, which is 75% of our income, and 25% through the sale of these recycled materials. We service over 300 locations, 95 companies, and 240 homes, with clients such as Procter & Gamble, Sodexo. We have Marriott Hotels and Starbucks, among many others. Whoops. What sets us apart is the integral model that we have. So first of all, we're a purpose-driven venture. We put the purpose at the forefront of everything we do, and we're trying to create a movement that is trying to solve this issue in Peru. We have a simple and integrated solution with a super efficient logistical model, which is socially inclusive. We are creating jobs in an industry, like I said, that's 99% informal. We have pioneer processing technologies, and in our materials recovery facility have an AI-powered big data capture that allows us to read materials and access data from these materials. And by the way, we are also providing carbon negative raw materials to these local industries. And data and waste are a field that's just starting to come to fruition, and this is basically the technology we've implemented. It reads the materials through machine learning, and it creates a huge database that we can then turn into insights. By now, we already have the largest database of recycled materials in Latin America, as we are the first company to implement this technology. And that's exactly what we want to do with this grant. We want to take Sinba Digital to the next level. We think Industry 4.0 is very important. So we want to integrate all the steps so that our customers can know 100% certain where the materials came from and where they're going. We've trained over 13,000 people, are reducing waste by 80% for most of our waste to landfill for our customers, created more than 35 jobs, and recovered 5,400 tons of materials, which translates into 8,100 tons of CO2 mitigated, which is equivalent to planting 130,000 trees. And we're servicing 16 local industries and farmers with our raw materials. And now this all looks nice, but I wanted to show you some of the faces and the actual pictures behind what we're doing. So this all looks very nice, but I want to take a step back because this is us today. We process 7 tons per day, and we're very proud of where we've gotten. But just Peru, just the Peruvian market, is 2,600 times of what we're currently doing. And if we factor in LATAM, Asia, and Africa, it's 700,000x. So we're not going to fail because we lack a market or because there's no waste. Definitely not. We have a wonderful team of 38 people behind this, engineers, we have a chef, we have a journalist, diverse in every sense, and we're very proud to be all following this mission. And our vision for 2030 is to have 10 of these Sinba nodes in operation and also to expand them internationally. As said, this is a global issue. We require an investment of 50 million, and to have the right model and to have the right technology behind it is what's going to enable us to do this. In terms of climate impact, we expect to recover at least 1 million tons of waste by 2030, which is equivalent to 1.4 million tons of CO2 reduced. That being said, we invite you to co-create a world sin basura. Thank you.
Really incredible. You're completely right. Everywhere I go, and not just the developed world, but I think other places too, you see waste production or even recycling production is just not being utilized correctly. My question, I'm curious, you mentioned that, of course, you're creating revenue right now. What is your price point for, the animal feed? I guess, what is your revenue, and are you breaking even, or when are you looking to break even?
Yes, we broke even in the past, but last year we invested in these 2 plants, which really increased our costs. So now we're working to fill up that capacity. So we're looking to break even in September of this year. We're currently doing, trying to translate into dollars, about 60,000 US dollars per month in sales, and we're growing. This year we've grown at 12% monthly, and I think that answers the question. Oh, right, the price point. So for the subscription, business on average is paying 900 US dollars per month. A home is paying 18 US dollars per month. So I guess it could be feasible for many homes. And in terms of the recyclable materials, it's just a market price, basically, that we get paid by the industries, and we're working directly with final transformers, with final industry. And in terms of the animal feed, which is our most innovative product, we're currently selling at below what we hope, but as we really prove the market, because it's a new product, we hope to reach, trying to do the math in my head here, it's about 350 US dollars per ton for the dry feed.
Hi. Fantastic topic, by the way. I think it's super valuable, so thank you for the work that you're doing on that. I wanted to ask you about your AI. You mentioned that you have AI that reads data, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is basically, it was in the video, you could briefly see it, but it's a camera that goes above the conveyor belt in our materials recovery facility, and everything that goes through on the conveyor, and that's all of the materials we process go through, is filmed by this camera. Those images, it recognizes the objects, and those images go into a cloud algorithm. It's developed by a company called Grey Parrot, which is a startup out of the UK. They process the technology. They can recognize up to 50 categories of materials, and we can teach the algorithm to actually read SKUs as well. So that's kind of the next phase of development. And basically, it sends that data back to us as dashboards that we can then use to make our operations more efficient, to give that data to the industries, to give that data to mass consumption companies that want to know what of their product is actually being recycled. And that's impossible to do with the current data. That's actually not available at all in the recycling space. There's no data or very little data to this day.
Thanks, that's really interesting. I know, coming from Australia recently, everyone recycles and puts their waste into separate bins and stuff. But it turns out that a lot of the stuff that you put into those separate bins ends up in landfill anyway, because there isn't the facility to process it. And I wonder how that is in Peru, and whether that's a problem that you foresee.
Yeah, definitely. So one way, it definitely is an issue. One of the ways we tackle that is we have the whole integrated model. So if we receive waste that is non-recyclable, that client of ours is going to get feedback, and we're going to tell them, hey, this is not recyclable, don't put it in the bin. But we go one step before that, because we teach everyone, all our homes customers, our B2B customers. Training is a really important part of our process. So we teach them what to put in what bin, actually. And on the other hand, we're working with industries. So there are a lot of kind of niche industries that are needing materials that can come from recycled materials. And we have a person that's 24/7, well, 8/5, so 40 hours a week, I guess, trying to find those niche industries and trying to connect us directly to them. So right now, we're able to recycle about 15% more materials than any other company in Peru, because we found those industries and we're providing directly to them.